Hello, my name is Abby Maloney, and this is Invest Insights, where we interview executives who are shaping our communities today. In today's episode, I speak with Heiko Dobrikow, the Executive Vice President for the Los Olas Company and the General Manager for the Riverside Hotel. Heiko, when the reopening process first started, the Riverside Hotel, before many hotels in the region, was already starting to think about what it meant to reopen. And you were posting pictures of different seating scenarios, for example, in your dining establishments, asking your clients how they felt most comfortable. Why was it important to plan so early on? What are the steps that you've implemented? And what has been the feedback from the local community?
It was very interesting. At the end of the day, you have to talk to your customers, and the customers will actually tell you what they're expecting. And as we were going through this process, we realized the shift actually in expectation level of our customers. It was really not about the experience of friendly staff and great food and wonderful libations and a comfortable bed. It was really about safety and security. And so as we were exploring this, we really looked at various resources out there, what could help us. And in particular, we looked at the health industry and we looked at the airline industry and the cruise industry, what they have been doing, right? And so we used some of the best practices that we've seen, how to best create an environment for the customer to feel comfortable, yet not threatened, and not feeling like, well, this is just an experience that is not the greatest. And right from the get-go, we jumped on board with the aspect of temperature checking, right? And that was important because we expecting this to do for our employees, but why not do it also for the guests? Because it gives you a sense of welcome to the customer, that we are taking it serious. And it really started a great conversation piece. You got to wear your mask, you got to social distance, and let us tell you the experience at the Riverside as you're arriving here, correct? And so you pointed out what we were doing in the restaurants, right? Whether it was the clear dividers, whether it was the table 6 feet apart, whether no bar stools at the bar, whether it's the digital menus with QR codes. Who would have thought QR codes are coming back, right? That was like, what, 6-7 years ago, when there was a wave of QR codes, everybody used it, and then nobody used it any longer. And so now everything is digital nowadays. And the same thing we did in the guest rooms, right? We don't have any more magazines in the guest rooms. Every magazine is now digital. So it is actually on a QR code and you can download it. And guess what? We have now better tracking in what the customers actually want to look at. And so by creating this sense of safety and security with our customers, it really set us quickly apart from folks or from other business that did not think through it very, very methodically, right? And we embraced the technology right away of the electrostatic spraying, because yes, we stole it from the airlines. That's where we saw it first, and we went right into it because it kills 99% of the bacteria. And then we went with the iWave air handling purifiers that go into the air handlers that also kill the bacteria, similar to what you're seeing on the airplane. So we used our resources hopefully right in order to establish a very nice comfort zone to our guests that are coming here.
Fabulous. And the Riverside Hotel, you're not beholden to a national chain. Has that been a benefit over the past number of months? And if so, how so?
Abby, I think it has, because we're a private business and we can set the rules to as strict as we want or as relaxed as we want. And we felt we had to be really strict. When you looked at some of the brands out there, whether it's Marriott or Hilton, they did not require temperature checks, right? And they actually did not allow their properties to do it. For us, it was a benefit to do so, because when you take a look at the type of customer that was still wanting to get out and travel and go to a dining facility, was, I call it the 40 and wiser customer. That is my customer. And they feel comfortable, actually more comfortable, by knowing that we're doing this very diligently, the temperature checks. And so it gave us much more flexibility to do what we needed to do and really put a full plan together without jumping through a tremendous amount of hoops, right? And I think it benefited us more so, and we were able to implement many of these protocols rather quickly. As you know, during this pandemic, Abby, middle of March, most of the hotels shut down. We stayed open for essential travel, but as we are open for essential travel, we had to create a safe work and safe experience for them as well. So we had to react fast, whereas maybe many other hotels closed down for a month or for 2 months until they had their protocols developed and opened up for business.
What are some of the innovations that you've experienced during this time that you believe will exist in a post-pandemic landscape?
Yeah, I think it's many. Um, I don't know how many Zoom calls you have been on, but this is my third Zoom call today, and there's one more afterwards. So I think this communication via video and video conferencing is something that's going to stay. And you're going to see hybrid meetings where, for example, when you launch your magazines with Invest Fort Lauderdale, you will see a hybrid component to it, right? There's going to be a live audience that's going to be participating in it, but there's also going to be an audience that wants to watch it and see it. And then, because you are recording it, you can now send it out to more folks that didn't have the time to participate in the live experience, right? I think the aspect of efficiencies through technology in our hotel and restaurant operations will be staying. I think digital menus. Who would have thought you teach baby boomers how to use a QR code, and they are now experts at it, right? And they even feel appalled, or anybody might feel appalled now. Well, do you need a paper menu? Oh, no, I got this, right? It's like a kid in a candy store. And I think that's going to stay. It's going to make us more efficient as well from an operation, because as the menu items change, we can quickly go digitally online, change it without reprinting any kind of menus. I mean, that's as simple as it is. I think when you take a look the efficiencies of check-in, that literally you can check in by the time that you land with your airplane, and you're in your vehicle, or you being transported to the hotel. You check in there, and your phone with an RFID enabled app, you have the ability to use it as a room key and never even stop by the front desk. I think that's probably something you want to see. I think you're going to see automation. I think you're going to see automation in culinary, in restaurants, where potentially preparations for food will be automated and not being done by folks. I think there's going to be efficiencies that you're going to see. I think you're going to see a lot of the front of the house technology in restaurants change with the self-ordering, that maybe even as much as your smart device that you have will become your ordering device right there at the fingertips that you have. And then with the right technology, you can actually pay the bill right from your smartphone. And I think when it comes to sanitation and disinfections, I think we in the hospitality industry, and particularly also restaurants, we're going to become more, and I'm going to use maybe the wrong word here because nothing else jumps in my head, but we're going to become more sterile as we are really trying to provide an environment that is truly sanitized, right? And when I take a look what we are doing just alone in our hotel, and we have having specific employees that are just responsible for not cleaning, they're responsible for sanitizing. I think that's here to stay because it's the expectation level. It's the new norm, and we will be kidding ourselves if we think that this pandemic is going to go away in a month and 2 months or 3 months. No, this thing is going to stay probably for some time, and we may have to deal with this for a year, for 2 years. And if I were to look in my foggy crystal ball that I have, I would think maybe we're looking at 2023 to be back at pre-COVID-19 business levels.
Yeah, and you're right. I think we have a long ways to go. And what I think most people were thinking when this all hit the United States back in February, March, April, that we would be through the woods come this time. We're taping now in late October of 2020, and like you mentioned, there might be a number of years you know, this kind of social distancing and mask wearing, and before we're really thinking about the other side. And so, in light of that, what have these past number of months taught you personally about resilience?
Well, I think we as human beings are resilient no matter what. I think we have the ability to pivot rather quickly and really be inventive. And at the end of the day, we have to persevere. We cannot just not do anything. Actually, actions will speak louder than words. And whatever actions you're going to take, you're going to find a path through collaboration. As I've mentioned, I went out to the hospitals, to the airlines, to the cruise lines, and really gathered the best information that I could get in order to make the right decisions. And the sooner that we make decisions and the sooner that we work together in order to move forward, the better the recovery is. And I'm proud of what we have done here in Broward. We have had weekly conference calls with our industry and the county administration and the city administration in laying forward the restrictions that came upon us, right? And if you just think as simple of a restriction of phase one for restaurants was 25% capacity. We in Broward said, you will not be able to open the doors of a restaurant. The startup cost will be too high, therefore it's not going to work. And the administration listened to us and said, at what level would it work for you? And we said, at least 50%, give us 50%. And we were right from the get-go already in phase two for our restaurants and had the doors open at 50%. Yes, with certain restrictions that were out there, and the emergency orders were clear. But at the end of the day, if we communicate with each other and we collaborate and we have honest conversations and we have everybody at the table, then you're going to make the right decisions. As I often say, you have two choices in life. You either can sit at the table or be on the menu. The choice is yours. And I think with all of us sitting at the table in creating the right change for the community and for our county and our state and our country, I think that's just going to move us forward.
Well, thank you again. That was Heiko Dobrikow, the Executive Vice President of the Los Olas Company and the General Manager of the Riverside Hotel. I'm Abby Malone, and you've been watching Invest Insights. Thanks for tuning in. Hey everyone, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so that you can stay up to date on the latest business trends from our knowledgeable experts. Be sure to check out the description below for more information on the segment you just watched. Thanks for tuning in.